So, my first question to you ladies is what does the Superwoman Complex mean to you?
World always tells us like y'all too emotional, y'all too, and it's like our emotions is like
Yeah.
like you know.
It's a fair balance thing. And I think it was, like you said, crack at the our generation, we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Because if Daddy wasn't selling crack, he was using crack.
Yeah.
So, my first question to you ladies is what does the Superwoman Complex mean to you?
Yeah.
So they see my husband cook. They'll see my husband getting with me and my co-workers. They'll see me and my co-workers. They'll start my husband. Like it's a fair balance thing. And I think it was like you said, crack at the beginning. Our generation, we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Because if Daddy wasn't selling crack, he was using crack.
Yeah.
Y'all too emotional, y'all too, and it's like our emotions what got you here.
Yeah.
The title of this podcast is the Superwoman Complex, and we are dealing with the strength of women and our mental health. So with us we have Alicia, and we also have Miss Jasmine. Alicia has a nonprofit that she's going to tell us about. So my first question to you ladies is what does the Superwoman Complex mean to you?
I think the Superwoman Complex means to me, like, especially as a black woman, we're always taught that we have to like hold it down, and we're like not able to not hold it down. Like we're just not. If we don't hold it down, it crumbles basically. So we're forced to be like this strong woman, this strong entity, and if we're not, it's like blasphemous. Yeah. Even if we get a little angry or get a little weak at times, or like the angry black woman instantly. Yeah. Like we have to just hold it together all the time. That's what it means to me.
Yeah. What about you?
To me, it's us not knowing that our vulnerability is power and strength. So we tend to cover it up because like the world always tells us like y'all too emotional, y'all too, and it's like our emotions what got you here.
Yeah.
Like you know, so I feel like it's us just dimming that down, always having to be like strong, and in that we taking on masculine, like we're taking on the masculine, and we're not really being ourselves. So mentally we be drained, tired, physically our atmosphere be messed up, kids be irritated, man be irritated. It's like everybody mad. And I do agree with you with the like they think we angry, but it's like our emotions are passion. So it's like don't confuse my passion for anger because I can show you anger. You know the difference. It's like you know, so I totally get that.
I get it. Okay. So where do you ladies believe that complex came from? Where do we get that complex?
Cycles, generations, slavery.
That's literally exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
literally.
Yeah.
Cause I learned it from my mom. Like in our house, I knew my mom loved us because of her actions. Her love language was acts of service. But we didn't always get like I love you or a hug because she didn't get that. So it wasn't like we'll hug in our house, but after 3 seconds, like okay,
it's like weird.
Yeah, like you know.
I think I told my great grandmother I love you maybe a total of 5 times in my entire life. Cause like you said, it was never telling I love you. It was always the showing I love you and the getting up and you know grandma's cooking and all that type of stuff. But grandma got you that special candy that your mama wasn't supposed to know about it. She slipping you that $5. Like come on, baby, go on. Yeah. Like it was always that act. And I do agree with you. I did get that Superwoman complex from my mom. Like I saw her in such a great strength because I never saw her break. Like if she did break, she did it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So I never got to see the vulnerability, the emotional side, the it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
I try to instill that in my kids now, like, cause I go through mental health stuff on my own, and I mean, of course, I don't show them like the worst of the worst, but I let them know like mommy's not having a good day today, like.
Yeah.
So they don't have to feel like they have to be strong all the time. Like it's regular to just have emotions.
Yeah. Like one thing I do remember my mom always giving us was the get out of free day. So like if we were just having like even though she wasn't allowed to have that, if I was just having a day where it wasn't like I was physically sick, but I just didn't feel like dealing with school that day because of whatever was going on, I could use one of my get out of free days and stay at home and just kind of get my mind back together and go back to class.
When I have kids, I want to do that.
I do that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, and I was always the type like I'm in the bathroom, I'm self-soothing myself, like I'm crying, I'll come out, and it's like nothing wrong with me, and I still do that in my life today. And I'm trying to figure out like, okay, get out the bathroom, like tell somebody you need help, like.
Like I grew up with the little girls that are seen but not heard, so it was no sitting up there running around and crying in front of the adults because you're not even supposed to be up here, like going out there and playing with the little kids. So it was that, and then it got to the point that my communication skills, like I can talk to people about a certain subject, but talking about me and being able to express me, nah, we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. Like you'll get to a certain level with me, and then you're gonna be like, okay, I'm trying to go deeper now. That's a whole brick wall, fucking steel wall, all type of shit that you barracudas and everything. You're not getting past it.
Yeah.
Because that whole I can't break all the way down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my balance with it because I want to be more vulnerable. I really do, but it be a barrier there, and it's not even in my control. Sometimes I'm like, where does this even come from? Why do I just feel like my whole body shut down? I can't talk to you or I can't express myself. It's like trauma.
Like, I shut down to control my mouth because my mouth can get like if I'm getting to a certain level, I know I'm now going to say things to you to make you feel the way that I feel. Yeah. And you may not even know that I'm that hurt by what you did, but now my mouth about to get real. So okay, I'm sitting here and I'm gonna look at you.
I do that too.
And I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid. And we're gonna revisit this conversation again.
Because
I can't.
Yeah, I realize I don't like, so through growth or whatever, I used to just say whatever's on my mind, like, and if we're gonna fight about it, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, because it's too gonna be my ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna say how I feel. But I've learned that I only know 0 to 100. Like I haven't mastered the in between yet, so I just be quiet. Like if I don't know, like I spend at least half my day saying, "No, girl, you can't say that," or you gotta say that differently.
Yeah.
And I overanalyze in my head, like if I say it this way, how is this person gonna take it?
Yes.
And I'm so critical that again it shuts down my communication that I don't because like I'm so I won't say afraid, but I don't want to make somebody feel some type of way because they misunderstood what I said or how I said it. Yeah, but it's to a default because like I said, I don't know how to communicate because of it because I'm so over analyzing like how you're gonna process what I'm gonna say to you that I won't end up speaking up.
I can relate to that so much because I was the same way. It's like 0 to 100 real quick, rah rah, and I didn't know how to. I'm getting locked up, getting my mom locked up, right in the street. Like I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I said too much, did too
in
much.
The hospital.
Yeah, but it's like now that I've dialed back and I'm trying to be more kind and considerate with my words, I dialed back a little bit too much. So now it's like people playing with me.
Yeah.
And I gotta find that balance.
Yeah.
Especially this is the first time in my life where I'm actually going after being an artist. And it's like
this shit was recording now.
you wanna keep going?
Hold on. Because I just heard it kick off, so that means it's not recording.
You want me to record it on my voice memo soon, send you the voice memo? Just in case?
Yes, please. Okay. Record. Don't be a butt. Thank you. Alright. Maybe not. Shit.
I'm good. But this is the first time in my life like I'm actually going after being an artist fully. So I've never been like in a studio with men or anything like that, and I'm kind. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like that's my testimony. It's gonna help somebody. I used to pray to God to send me somebody to come save me and my family, and now I'm the answer prayer to some other little girl. So it's like I'm open, but some people take that as a weakness, especially men, and it's like they'll try to play on my emotions and all that. And it's like I'm trying to figure out the balance between like stop playing with me, and I'm still kind. And I'm in that battle right now.
Yeah, like with me, like being in the strip clubs for so long. That is a male dominated industry. And me being a former exotic dancer and coming up and being like, okay, now I'm a boss. Niggas look at me like, oh, you, you what?
Yeah.
You're what? No, yeah. And like one nigga told me, he was like, you're just a woman. And I sat there and I thought about it. I said, you're right. I am just a woman. And this just a woman gets into places that you can't get into. I walk into the back rooms that can't get into. I've house mom for these dancers. I know all these promoters that you do not know. And if you do know, you don't have an excellent relationship with them because you don't know how to talk to them.
I think that that's such a derogatory statement. You're just a woman. Cause
Yeah.
to me, women are the closest thing to God on earth because we're the only ones that can produce a baby. We grow life.
We're the only ones that grow life. Yes.
Yeah.
Like with that, it was being in that industry and switching the side. That's why I told you I'm pulling out of the strip clubs altogether, just because that industry does not respect women at all. And as much as I want to change it, like it would still take a million of me because it's not just changing it in our color circle. I would have to go change it globally as far as the exotic dancing and how women are treated.
Well, I will say I've never been to a black strip club before. That's crazy. I've been in Atlanta. I've been to a white strip club, and the vibe is like
it's
totally different. Like because I've been to like Magic City. They weren't filmed. They weren't actually. I was just shooting a video, so it wasn't actually on. But I could just tell that the vibe was different. Like you're not allowed to touch the women, and they're not like pussy popping. They're like swaying sexy back and forth.
It's more of a cabaret.
So I do think it's more of like in our culture.
Yeah, like being like you said, it's the pussy popping, it's the derogatory, it's the breaking a woman down to her being a bitch, which is a female dog. Like you're using me as a workhorse to entertain you, and there has to be that balance. Like yeah, you want the girlfriend experience, or you may want this ratchet ass bitch, but you're still going to respect me at the end of the day. That is just a character that I'm playing, and men don't know how to separate that character.
Yeah.
We've been like desensitized to each other a lot as far as like respect goes on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's like, and with us as women, it's like you said, we got the power of life and death for real.
Yeah.
Like the way we move, the way we talk, it can make men kill themselves over
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Like we gotta
Kill
move a
each
certain
other.
like a certain type of way. And I feel like because like, it's always an agenda to everything, especially with us. So I feel behind the scenes we've been desensitized to where it's easy to be like,
Oh yeah, because
we ain't this, we ain't that.
We went through a time where men went from being our warriors to us watching them being literally buck broken.
Yeah.
Like you got broken in the worst way possible, and there was nothing I could do to help you. And then when this man was raping me because he just wanted to, there was nothing you could do to help me. And so we became desensitized to each other because we couldn't help each other. We felt helpless, and we turned that helplessness against each other.
Yeah, and then they turned the raping into the crack epidemic, and I don't think that we've ever recovered from that
No.
as a people. Like they came out and told us they did this
They
on
did it,
purpose.
yes.
Like so took the men out the home, and we just haven't recovered from that. I think that's a lot of the problem with men is that moms, they treat their daughters and their sons totally different.
Very different.
The woman is taught you gotta be strong, you gotta do this and that, and they kind of baby the males, which is kind of backwards, but that's usually how it is. And so they're taught under, and when the dad isn't there, that's all they know is to be the desensitized.
Because
this
that
is
boy
what
is
it's
now
supposed to
being
happen.
raised as the man of the house.
Yeah.
So he's
From a baby.
from a baby. So he's getting the respect of the man of the house. So the women serve him. And your woman is supposed to cook for you and clean for you. And let me explain
Not
something
tell
to you.
me when I'm wrong.
Yeah. Let me explain something to you. My 16-year-old can cook a 5-course meal. He can do his own laundry. He can fix his own car. Why? Because I refuse to let a woman sit up there and hold that over your head. And you shouldn't hold that over a woman's head. Well, I got the money, I got all this and other Like it should be an equal partnership.
Yeah.
So they see my husband cook. They'll see my husband get up and cook me and my co-wife breakfast. They'll see me and my co-wife get up and serve my husband. Like it's a fair balance thing. And our thing was, like you said, the crack epidemic. Our generation, we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Because if daddy wasn't selling crack, he was using crack.
Yeah.
And that's just how it was. So, What does strength, the word strength, mean to you, ladies?
Mm, I think strength means your ability to carry on through whatever you have going on.
I would agree with her. I was gonna say your ability to endure, like just get through it. Really,
Mm.
Okay, and do you feel that has been a hindrance to you or played a part in your mental health journey? That idea of what strength is supposed to be?
Absolutely. I had a situation August of 2021 where I was like just going downhill, and I came to the point I was like, man, I need to like get some help, and I almost didn't go because of thinking what everybody else would feel. And so for me, that was like a life or death situation. So trying to be strong.
Yeah.
it affected strength affects my mental health a lot still currently. Like this is the first time in my life where I'm like, okay, I need therapy.
Yeah.
Like and there's nothing wrong with it. Let me just get it and just see because I'm so used to carrying everybody else's emotions. Like
Yeah.
I grew up in a toxic household, so I'm calming my mom down, my stepdad down, my
Yep.
siblings down, and then it's like, okay, now I gotta calm myself down. I gotta self-soothe myself, get back up, make sure everybody's straight.
Mm.
And I'm so used to doing that it's like I don't pay attention to myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'll get to a point where it's like I don't feel like doing nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think.
Mm.
Like I might just want to drink and go to bed, and
It's
it's like you
draining.
can't. That's not self care. Like
Yeah, like when my mom and my grandmother, because for a minute my mom and my grandmother were going back and forth to the hospital. Like one would get out, the other one would go in. So like dealing with that, and it was those were my superwomen. That was the like my great grandmother. She bought the house just so nobody in the house would ever be homeless. Nobody in her family, they would always have somewhere to go. My mom was a teen mom, so like watching both of them and never really seeing them break down, but finally watching them be human, going back and forth to the hospital and being sick, and like I'm finally seeing like talking to my mom's doctors, and we're both in the medical field, so you're telling me terms, and I understand what the hell you're saying, and it was like I finally started telling my mom, you need to take a break, you need to really rest, like lady, whoa, slow the whoa.
I had to call my mom too.
Yeah, like because I realized like my mom's life was on Monday morning, she would get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, get my nieces ready for school because my sister, she didn't keep my nieces. My mom did. She was helping raise them. So get them ready for school. They were in private school. Drop them off at school. Go to work all day. More than likely, somebody was calling her about something dealing with the church while she's at work. When she get off work at 7 o'clock at night, go pick my nieces up, deal with whatever she had to deal with at church, finally go home and go to sleep at maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, get back up at 7 o'clock and do it all over again. In between there, you're sprinkling in Bible study, nurses meetings, choir meetings, all this other stuff, and it was like, when do you sit down?
Yeah.
And so when she got sick, and none of those people that she was running, like everybody called, but none of those people showed up. Like, hey, listen, do you need anything? Can we bring anything over? Like nobody knew how sick my mom was. Like when she passed away, because she passed away at 49, and everybody was like, well, what happened? And they got mad because I said y'all killed her. Y'all killed her.
Yeah.
overworking ourselves, stress like that.
Overworking
It's
herself
like big.
because she didn't just have. Like I understand why she did it because she was adopted, so she didn't have the siblings. So her church family became her siblings and her daughters, and because my sister and I were out living our own lives, so those ladies replaced the love that she was looking for, and they took advantage of it. Like even now, I sit there and I watch, and I'm like, y'all are doing just fine without my mom. My sister and I are the ones sitting over here dying inside because she's not here. Y'all are fine.
Yeah.
Like one lady got mad because she just had a baby. She had a little girl. Can I name your daughter after you? No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Don't.
I feel that.
I'm not even gonna name a child after my mom. If I choose another one, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that. My sister and I have businesses named after her. That's her respect.
Yeah.
You didn't respect her enough to deal with her in life and treat her properly in life. Don't disrespect her.
And it's like that's a repetitive story
Yeah.
in our culture, in our community.
Everybody
It's like,
loves
what?
you when you're dead. you were the best person, and oh my God, that was my best friend, and
Yeah.
I loved them, and they were always the.
It's like we overwork ourselves for people who don't even appreciate it.
Not at all.
And
Not
don't work hard
at
enough for the
all.
people that do. Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
And
I
that's
even feel away because I feel like that, like I'm the only girl, and since like girls are traditionally closer to their dads, the boys are traditionally closer to the boys. Like my mom, I was also taught like that strong woman thing to take care of the blah blah blah. But my brothers weren't taught that.
Yeah.
And so I can just see like now that I'm older, I can just see the way that like
they were babies.
they're still baby that's grown
Yeah.
in, and I'm like me, and it's like I don't know if I'm just not being baby or I don't allow myself to be baby, but either way.
With it, I learned that because we're so used to not doing it, that when somebody does it for us, we look at them really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like when my husband tries to baby me, because I'm used to being the strong one for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So when he tries to like let me break down with him, I don't know how, because I've never had the opportunity to do this before. Like,
yeah.
what do you mean let go? What do you mean release? What are these foreign concepts? What do you mean rest?
Mm-hmm.
These are foreign concepts to me. Like,
Yeah.
I had my oldest son at 18. What do you mean rest? No.
Yeah.
I always have to remind myself, like, you're safe.
Yeah.
So that I can do that or allow somebody to help me because, okay, I can grab this bag. You can grab this bag. It's cool. Like, you know, and it's like, calm down. Somebody can grab your bag. Somebody can open the door. Like, they can help you and they don't want nothing from you.
My husband cussed me out, right? Because, like, I'm so used to my first husband. He never put anything together. Like, never did any of that shit for the kids. So I was always the one putting strollers together. And all that. So when it came first to have our son who just turned 6 today, like, I had put all the strollers together, put the crib together, and my husband was like, you didn't even give me time. Like, you're 8 months pregnant, putting together a crib.
Yeah.
Sit down. Yeah. I got it. Like, literally rearranged because I nested her. I'm talking about my bed got moved around the room like 4 times a day for a minute.
One thing that helps me though when I like want to tell myself like, okay, you need a moment. Like I have bipolar depression, so I take advantage of my highs. So like when I'm on a high, I just do more than what needs to be done, so that I don't feel as guilty about. Okay, today I need to rest. Like today I just don't have it.
And I always feel guilty about resting. Like
I'm doing better with it now that I try to do more when I'm higher, but I still do.
Yeah, I'll be laying in the bed and like Saturday, I didn't have nothing to do. Like, I had to get all the homework I needed to do, caught up on everything. And I'm still like looking because I felt bad that I was just, I'm like, I'm being lazy. I'm laying in the bed. Like, I've been in the bed for hours. My wife was like, come on, we can just take a nap. No, I don't have time to take a nap. She's like, well, what do you have to do? She was like, you already did your ego hours. Yeah. Daddy's cooking tonight. Yeah. What do you have to do? Okay, I'm gonna take a nap. Like,
sometimes I be needing those naps for me. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
Everything not working out, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's like that restart button.
Yeah. If I'm having a bad day, I'm going to sleep.
Because I constantly have to try to shut my brain down.
Exactly.
Because I'm thinking, okay, what else? Okay, this person needs that, and it's like, you didn't even sleep.
Yeah, I have to take medication because, like, my mind doesn't rest.
Yeah.
Like, even when I'll be asleep and still be, like, not resting. Cause I'm not all the way asleep because I'm still having this, like, constant line of thought.
You having dreams and now it's like, what's happening?
Right, you think you're dreaming, but you really woke and you really just thinking, like, I don't know.
And I know that's a big problem because my mom, she used to be asleep, like she might fall asleep on the couch or be in her bed. And if we walk in, we might not even say anything. She'll wake up like, what? And it's like, ain't you supposed to be asleep? Like, how you waking up having these conversations and trying to direct, like, go to bed? That's really a thing.
Like, not resting.
Me, it got so bad for a while, like, I was literally dreaming about work while I was at home resting, like, wherever I was working. I didn't stop working once I came home. So when I was working for Home Depot, I would dream about Home Depot customers and working in that fucking garden section. If I never have to step in there ever again. Like, because at Home Depot, I was pushing 80 hours a week. Sheesh. Like, literally would open the store, work my shift. Then we would get the call that somebody had called out, and I'm trained across every fucking department in the store.
It's hard for me to work a 40-hour work week. I can barely do that. So
You can't be everywhere and everything.
When you a
Like,
single mama, I was a single mama with 3 kids.
yeah,
I had to get it out the mud because
Yeah.
even though my great grandmother and my mama were there, like my great grandmother and my mom, they still had my little sister. Because again, I was 18, so my sister was 13 when I had my first kid. So they still gotta finish raising her.
yeah.
I gotta take care of mine. So yeah, I ain't getting child support at the time. Guess what? My kids didn't go hungry. I'm just not getting on food stamps because of the pandemic. I've been on the food stamps now for the longest time ever in life because of the pandemic and because I got laid off. But other than that, no.
Wait, so how do y'all balance mental health with having kids? I don't have kids. I can turn my phone off. Like, I can say forget everybody, my mom, everybody. But it's like when you have kids, that's different.
My boyfriend is like amazing with that. Like he's not very good at being like a very open person, like with my mental health stuff. But he knows the signs. If I'm having a bad day, like okay, I'm gonna make sure I take the kids. I'm gonna make sure I cook or at least get food or whatever like that. Like he's been amazing. So I don't know if I would have been able to do
likewise, my husband and my co-wife, like they'll see it before I see it now. They can both recognize the signs. Like I'll get like even how I was this morning. I didn't sleep, too much last night. I think I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and I've been up ever since. So I was just kind of down, and everybody was like, "Are you sure you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Wednesday." And it was like, "All right, we got you." Like so, they made sure the kids got up, started doing their schoolwork, and my husband picked out my clothes this morning, and when we get home, he's gonna make sure everything's together. So yeah, it helps to have a partner that can recognize when, even if they can't understand completely what your mental health issues are, they recognize that hey, they may need some time for them to just get I might not need to put my hand in it, but let me give you the space where you can deal with whatever you're dealing with.
Yeah, sometimes it does help, sometimes when it's bad, you want to be by yourself, but sometimes it does help to have your kids there. Sometimes I'll just watch a movie with my son, or like I want to go get my nails done, I'll take my daughter and we'll go get our nails done. So
because your
like
kids are the kids. No one, the kids pick up on energy. So like if your child feels that something's kind of wrong with you, most of the time when they're little, like my 6-year-old, he comes in now, he'll feel something wrong with me. He'll come in and just start singing and dancing to kind of make me laugh. That type of little stuff or my co-wife's daughter, she does this thing all day, like throughout the period of the day, she just comes in the room and she's like, "Huggies." And she goes around and gives everybody a hug. And I might really be thrown off at the moment. My mind might be somewhere racing, and all of a sudden she's here Huggies, and that grounds me back. So your kids really do help. Like they can fuck with it sometimes, but they do help with it a lot.
And y'all make me realize I need to let more people be there for me.
Let the right people be there for you.
Yeah.
Because there are people that will take advantage of it.
No, for
And
sure.
I have had people take advantage. Like that's another reason why I don't feel comfortable talking about my mental health with everyone. Because I've had people take advantage of that. Like my ex-husband tried to take my kids because of it. And it was like, bruh.
Yeah. And it could be a cycle though. Like I've learned that, like, cause I will withdraw a lot. Like if I'm DM'd, don't like even my parents don't talk to me. I don't want to be looked at. But it turns into a cycle, and so I've had to like not go into the cycle because I know how it gets. It's a cycle of you don't allow people to be there for you, and then you feel like nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's the worst place to be. So, but then you have to realize it's not that nobody cares. I'm just not
everybody
letting
away.
Exactly.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's something that I deal with because the lack of knowing how to communicate. I'll tell everybody I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's me. It's like sometimes I need to take that moment to get my mind right, because when I let you in, I need to know exactly where I am so that I can gauge what you're on. Because I'm still testing you too, and it's like I've been the type of person where I'm ready to open up, and now I opened up, and you the type of person that's now taking advantage of my vulnerability in this moment, and it's like I don't open up no more.
Or later on we're arguing and you throw that shit back up in my
Yeah,
face.
Exactly.
it's
I was
like-
gonna say, or you get the gaslighting me, like
Yeah.
like,
And then it's the worst thing when you're beating, because I beat myself up all the time, and not
Yeah.
bad, but it's like I want to make sure I'm correct before I don't want to demonize you, just like I don't want to be demonized. But it's horrible when you go back and rethink about the situation. It's like
I gave
you
you
was
too much
manipulating me
rope.
the whole time, like
Yeah.
you were really gaslighting me the whole time
Yeah.
and
Like I try
playing
to,
on my weakness.
I try to give enough everybody enough rope to hang themselves.
Yeah.
And I've realized sometimes that's too much goddamn rope.
Yeah, it is.
That's too like you finna take forever to kill yourself. Let me go. Nah, I'm done. I'm gonna cut these because I can't.
Yeah.
Like I had to cut my best friend off, and she and I had been friends since I was 18.
Wow.
She and I had been friends since I was 18, but the things that we were doing together, I had stepped away from, and you couldn't step away from, which I understand, but understand where my mental is now because I can't go back to that part of my life no more. That part of my life, hell no. Like my kids will be gone, I'll lose everything. And because I took that part of my life out, you thought I was taking you out, so you retaliated. And you threw a lot of shit up in my face. Well, you been my road dog since we was 18. You know shit about me that nobody knows. And you threw it like you made me feel this big because you threw that up in my face. You accomplished what you wanted, but now you're paying the price 6 years later because I'm no longer talking to you.
Yeah, through my mental health journey, I definitely learned that, like, I'm very quick to cut off somebody who doesn't celebrate me. Like,
Yes.
cut off. You don't feel, once I find out you feel X, Y, Z about me, it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
Like,
because why would you want to be around me and you feel the type of way about me?
Exactly.
So
I
let me
can't
go
even
help.
trust
whenever I'm around you, I'm always gonna know in the back of my head.
Right.
This is how you feel. Right.
Like I tell you, like, look, when it comes to everybody events, depending on how this call works, we may get there, we may not get there. But if I can be on social media with you, baby, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm one of the biggest supporters because when I have my shit, I want everybody to come to my shit. Like, I came up with the concept of the showcase that I want to do. Not thinking about me because I can do an artist showcase anytime. I'm like, damn, we got some dope ass people in the class.
Yeah.
No, really.
Let's get some folks together. And y'all gave me the idea. I'm gonna do an artist showcase for everybody, and we're gonna get our shit together.
I want to go back to a point I meant to bring up when you were saying that your ex-wife, or I'm sorry, your co-wife does the huggies thing. I think that that's a big thing that we need to change in our culture too. Is like giving our kids more like love, like open love.
Yeah.
Like I hug and I tell my kids I love them every morning. I tell them I love them every night. I hug them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one thing about our society, we were forced to grow up very fast. Like by the time we was 10, we was developed and we was just that fast ass little girl. Now looking at the 19, 20-year-old that's looking at us as a pervert, no, it's us being the fast ass little girl because of nature.
Yeah. See, I was different though. I was one of those kids that was like really sheltered, and I acted out just because I was so sheltered. Like my parents maybe put me on punishment for every fucking thing until eventually I was like, if I'm gonna always be on punishment, I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway. And so I wasn't sheltered. I wasn't forced to go. I was pregnant at 15. So, but even that, like, my parents were like so hands on that. Like, that's why I started the foundation because I was like, I don't know where I would have been if it was not for my parents when I got pregnant. And so I know it goes south for so many, other girls, like, other girls aren't as fortunate. So that's the biggest thing that made me start my foundation.
It's us, like you said, allowing our kids to be really kids. Because I grew up sheltered, but in a fast life as well. Like, it's weird because my mom, I told you she had us growing up in the church and we were really secluded in the church. But even in that church culture, it was, by the time I was in 3rd grade, I had already started developing breasts. By the time I was in 5th grade, I had already got my menstrual cycle. And my body showed it.
Yeah.
And it was the men at the church that were giving me looks, and I was supposed to look past that because that's brother so-and-so, or that's deacon so-and-so, or that's uncle so-and-so. And now at my church is coming out of those who have been molested, they're now speaking out. And this could have been dealt with a long time ago had y'all listened to us when we was telling y'all these men were looking at us weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got on these Sunday dresses and all that, but they not looking at y'all grown-ups. They not looking at y'all women that's barely wearing anything to church. They sitting up there pulling us to the side for prayers and touching on us, and you're sitting up there and accepting it because it was prayer.
Yeah.
It was holy.
And a lot of us, like, not growing up with hugs or being able to be kids, you just want to be seen. Like me, I didn't feel seen in my household. Like, I felt like I had to dim my light, be quiet, like, don't say too much, don't cause no problems. It's already toxic. Like, you can be the wrong fire today.
So then you start looking for
you
attention.
go outside, and it's like you get seen in the wrong way.
Yeah. Like with me, that's one of the things that made me go be an exotic dancer.
Yeah.
Because like it was me and my little sister, but I was the black sheep. Because like I didn't know that, you know, at the time, the reason my mom treated me the way she did was because of my conception. I just knew my sister got everything she ever wanted. She was the light skinned sister, I'm the dark skinned sister. I got the short hair, my sister got the long pretty hair. Or I didn't realize my hair was just damaged because of perms and all that other shit. But yeah, like we got two totally separate treatments, and me being, I won't say, not acknowledged in a way by my mom. Like it was at first, it was getting the straight A's and hey, mommy, I got A's on my report card, and it was pushed to the side. And my sister got a B, and she was celebrated.
Yeah, I think we have to like do better at that too, treating our children equally.
Yeah.
Like even my son, like I don't ever tell my son, and even like if other people tell him, I'll be like, we don't say that. Like I don't ever tell my son that's for girls.
Yeah.
Like my son wanted to go get his nails done with me. Come on, let's go. We going. When his dad felt the way, but I was like, when I was a tomboy, nobody told me that's for boys. Like they let me do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like
now with my sons, what we'll do, like they have a kitchen set. Like it's not a pink kitchen set. It's a regular colored kitchen set because they see their dad grilling all the time. My son loves to play in here. Why? Because his dad is a barber, so he's seen his dad for years dye my hair, cut my hair, and everything else. So he saw the masculine energy that went along with it. Like when they play with their sisters and they're playing with dolls, they know they played the daddy, and it wasn't something we ever had to tell them. Like we didn't have to go tell them you play the mommy and you play the daddy. They saw the role.
Right, your sister's playing with Barbies. I'm not gonna tell you can't play with your sister. Like
because they gonna take on like. I never understood that, and I guess because my mom was a pre-K teacher as well. So like with watching how she operated her classroom, you really didn't have to direct kids. Kids know a lot more than adults give them credit.
Yeah.
And they will tell all your business in that playtime. Like we used to have a saying, if you ever want to know what's going on in a child's household, get them a play area. Get them that household setting and just let them go. Whatever's going on at home, they gonna act it out.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Because kids are nothing but human tape recorders for a long time. That's how they that's how they learn. They learn by imitating what they see. So if you speak a certain way, your kids are gonna speak a certain way. If you behave a certain way, your kids are gonna behave a certain way. So if you out here twerking on the walls and all that, guess what your little baby gonna be doing?
Working at the park.
If you sitting up here cussing his daddy out 5 ways to Sunday, guess what he finna do? So yeah, I really believe that we have to be the example for our kids. Like, show them it's okay to break down. Like when my son, I tell them, like I got out of telling them, stop all that crying, you boys.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to stop crying so I can understand what you're actually trying to say to me. And that's what I learned. Because I have a whiny 6-year-old, and he's picked up the whining recently, and I've had to learn how to deal with it. So, son, oh precious young one, who is getting on my nerves at the moment, what is wrong? Okay, I can't understand you.
Yeah.
I understand that something's wrong because of the yelling, but can you verbalize to me? Well, he hit me. Okay, but you're yelling. I can't comprehend it. Can you talk to me?
Yeah.
And I've learned how to do it that way. Because with my oldest ones, I ain't gonna lie. With my oldest ones, I was you a boy, I'm gonna tag you in your chest. And
toxic.
Yeah, I was a toxic mother in the beginning. But that's because that's what I was taught.
Yeah, that's what.
Like, I'm a single mom dealing with boys. I gotta be hard on my boys because I ain't got no nigga around to be hard on them.
Mm.
And then when somebody did try to be hard on me, don't you touch my baby?
Yeah.
Don't talk about child.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, back to subject. Okay. Um, what do you all believe hinders us from seeking help with our mental health or our health in general?
Well, like I mentioned before, what everybody else would think, and just feeling like we have to be strong or something's wrong with us.
I feel like it's like, yeah, shame. Like, you don't want to be shamed. It's like something wrong with me because that's not normal. And it come from where it come from. It's
Yeah.
like, go pray about it. Go
Exactly.
wipe your eyes, take a walk. It's like
Yeah.
that. Pat it on the back and keep it pushing. So
The
when you're
last,
like, I need help,
the last time they told me to take a walk, they was like, just go walk it off. Okay. I walked from my house on Glenwood in Decatur all the way to Atlanta.
That's right.
I walked.
Like, and then even when I
That's
got out of the hospital and I started on, they diagnosed me with bipolar depression while I was in the hospital, and they started me on medication regimen. And my mom was like, "Don't take those medicines and da 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 da, and just go to church and da da da." Until a point where I had to ask her one day, like, "Do you think I would rather take the medicine? Like, do you think if it was that easy to just go to church and be okay, like, I wouldn't just do that?" Like,
right?
so I think that they weren't taught to take it seriously for real.
I think we were taught to disassociate ourselves. Like, completely disconnect from it. It's like, oh yeah, I
Like
prayed about
everybody
it.
feels down.
Yeah, I'm cool. And because I do that a lot to where it's like, you didn't even deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, you straight up just swept it under the rug and you put the rug down and you walked over the rug. Sometimes you still stand on the side in case people come so the dirt don't show.
Right.
But it's like, you gotta deal with that
Yeah.
in whatever way is best for you. Like, people gonna tell you all day how to do it. But it's
Yeah.
like, are you in the same position as me? No.
Yeah.
You just gotta understand that this is how I'm doing it. Just like I gotta understand you because I can't tell you. I tried. You didn't do it. So
I want to take it even deeper and take it even further back and saying that, like, going back to how we have the mistrust of the healthcare system, period. Because of what our ancestors had been through. Like, you know, we had the hospitals that were known for killing us.
Yeah.
Like, Grady for a long time was known for killing black people. Like, it was Kingston Hospital up in New York. You got Southern Regional still down here in Georgia. Like, these were hospitals that we as black people knew. If you go to that hospital, you're gonna die. You're not making it out of there. Even when they sat there and they told me what hospital they took my mom to, I said, "Oh, that's Killingdale." Even though it's Hillendale Hospital, like, it's known for not having enough medical staff, the proper equipment, and everything else to deal with a real life trauma. And like, dealing with my great grandmother, you know, it was, they didn't go talk to the doctors. We had roots. We went out and got the herbs and stuff in our backyard because that medicine that the doctor had, nah, that really was gonna make you sick. That really was gonna kill you. That was, we were experimenting on. So I believe, like, that plays a huge part. Like our parents and our grandparents really passed that down to us. Like, going into the black men not wanting to get their prostate checked and us not wanting to get, you know, our uterus and everything and our cervix and things checked to make sure we don't have the type of cancers. Or us just say, you know, hey, you know, if they do this, then I'm not trusting this medicine because X, Y, and Z side effects. Because we've watched, it's a mistrust of the healthcare system itself. And we got to figure out how to turn that around because we are dying at an astronomical rate, especially during childbirth. I have a story, like, with my second son. I'm allergic to morphine. It's one of the drugs I'm allergic to. I had just given birth to him, and I called my nurse for pain medicine. I was at Grady Hospital. They hire a lot of nurses that are not American born. Nurse had a heavy accent. She goes and she injects some medicine in my arm. I didn't see what she injected. She said, "I'm about to give you something for the pain. Just go ahead and inject it in my arm." And I literally watched it. And as I'm watching, I said, "You gave me morphine." And all I could do was, thank God my mom works at Grady. And so I called her, and all I could get out was, "Get here now."
Mm-hmm.
By the time she got to me, they were sticking a tube down my throat because I had she had swelled my throat by giving me morphine. Like, I'm definitely allergic to morphine.
Yeah.
And this lady gave me the wrong medication. Like, and we deal with that a lot in the hospitals where they're not listening to us. It's just now coming out that the pulse ox monitors, because of the melanin in our skin, it's hard for them to read our pulse ox. So it'll give a different reading for someone who is dark skinned versus someone who is light skinned. It'll give a more accurate reading.
Yeah.
For somebody
That's
like
crazy.
me that's an asthmatic, that's kind of dangerous. So yeah, I believe it really. Oh, I'm sorry. I believe that really plays a part in the fact that we were experimenting on. Like, we are the reason that gynecology is the way it is today. Because of this, the father of gynecology, he experimented on slaves. Like, the chainsaw was meant to be able to cut it was invented to be able to cut the woman's perineum, the spot in between her vaginal opening and her anus, to be able to allow the baby to come out bigger and to cut her actual pelvic bone. Guess who they experimented with that on?
And they be wondering why we walking around so hard, like.
Yeah, like but that's because like when you go back and you do your research, I've been doing a lot of medical research on us and how the advances that we had. Like, we were performing C-sections before there were people crossing the oceans and doing trains. We knew certain herbs to give each other to sit up there and numb you up that would knock you out where it wouldn't hurt the baby, where that C-section could be performed safely. And this is before the time of anesthesia, before the time of antibiotics and the correct sterile environments. We were performing this and living.
Yeah, I think even to take it a step further, in slavery, a lot of like the slaves, slave masters' kids, like we even nursed them, like
Yes.
nursed the slave masters' kids. So it's like we're really like the mothers to everybody. Yeah, that's why I feel like women, especially black women, are the closest thing to God.
Yeah.
Like, they sit there and
My
made
dad
a
cussed.
whole.
Sorry, I don't.
I'm sorry.
My dad, well, he didn't cuss me, my sister out, but he's basically getting us right. Like, y'all will defile yourselves down to the lowest point and become what wanted you to be, and it's like y'all are the women of the universe. Like, life literally comes through y'all, and it's like you have to carry yourself better. And like, he was just cussing us out. Like, he was getting us together. Like, he was getting us all the way together because we tend to dim our light a lot, or just allow anything, just go for anything, be with anybody, and it's like you don't even know how powerful you are.
Yeah.
All because we're just looking for that love and attention that we felt like we did not get growing up. And I think we as women, we really have to go back and heal that little girl. Really go, and that, like, I'm 35, and that's something I'm real like, and I thank you because even like, I didn't go with your therapist. Like, you gave me the strength to really go out and find my own. And she and I have been working together, and so like we do our virtual visits. Yeah, and she's cool. She, I explained to her, look, I do smoke marijuana. She's like, okay. And I'm like, I believe I need a psychiatrist. She's like, look, if I feel we need to go that route, then we will. But let's figure out what's really going with you.
That's a good therapist too, because she's not pushing you to medicine right off the bat.
Yeah, and my thing is, I'm like my depression. My depression is trying to get that balanced out. So she was like, with your history of medication, because I explained to her, how I really don't want the drugs. I'll take them if I had to, but I really don't want them. So we've had the journaling going on, and like the being able to tell my husband, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Like, today's just one of those days. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. Like, the other day I had a whole panic attack. He was like, why are you panicking? You're safe. Your grandfather's okay. And I had to think about what happened. I went back like this time 6 years ago. We were in the hospital trying to figure out if our son was gonna live or not. And I don't know why it hit me. Like, I woke up that morning, I told him, I was like, you remember 6 years ago we was in the hospital with you, right?
Yeah, I have to tell myself all the time, like I learned through therapy, is your dreams, your thoughts are not always your reality.
Yeah.
Because you work yourself out so much in your head. Like, like even like the trigger of having your son be in the hospital 6 years before, but like you're panicking like your son's in the hospital right now.
Right now,
But it's
yeah.
like, no, that's not your reality. Your son's safe right now. You're safe. He's in good health. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
So
like he running around and snaggles who just lost his two front teeth.
yeah. So
So it was, yeah, but it like it for whatever reason, like my mind literally went back to being in the hospital. Like I could smell the hospital, I could feel myself in it, and I literally had a panic attack out of nowhere, and it was, where's this coming from?
Yeah.
And I got on the phone with her, she's like, you okay now? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, we calmed it down, but like, and she helped me work through like even where, and so that's what I'm working on now, like finding a lot of my root causes and accepting, not because some of them I know, but like really accepting that it's okay to know that that triggered me.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, hey, that made me feel some type of way. And sometimes you don't have to care about how somebody feels about it.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I had to keep old girl's dogs out. As much as I love animals, you were taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
Like,
We have to do better at doing that too. Saying like, not only am I not okay, but I am not okay with this. Like,
yeah,
I don't like when you do this. I'm not like, because we put up with so much shit. Like,
Because we used to getting guilt tripped. It's
Yeah.
like we
Yes.
can't be feeling guilty because I get caught up in that all the time. Where
Me
it's
too.
like I want to stand on this and I know this is exactly what I mean, but now you feeling the type of way you guilt tripping me. Now I'm
Yeah.
questioning myself.
Right.
It's like no, this is what I mean, and I'm not in charge of how you receive it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know my intention.
Exactly.
Like sorry.
because like I'm the type, if if you need the shirt off my back, I got you. And it was, I was going above and beyond financially for everybody, to the point that like I realized I was doing to my kids what I felt like my mom did to me, where it was, you're giving so much to everybody else, and then what's left for us?
Nothing.
And so I had to turn that back around. Like, no is okay to be a complete. It's okay for no to be a complete sin.
Yes.
I don't have to give you an
That's the
extra.
word.
No,
That's
seriously.
something I think about all the time.
Seriously.
No is a complete sin.
Yeah.
I think about that all the
I
time.
don't have to give you an explanation. I don't have to tell you why I said no. No, I don't have it.
Yeah.
And you can sit there, well, you just got your income taxes. I don't have it for you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I just got my money that I worked for. I just got my money that I received for whatever reason. No, I don't have it for you.
Exactly. I was watching a video on TikTok and this woman was saying that it's feminine to not explain yourself, to just say it and just sit back and it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Because we're used to over explaining ourselves
Yeah.
for everybody emotions. And it's like when it comes to them, they just say it.
Yeah.
And now we left overthinking like, well, how do you want? How do you end?
Yeah.
No.
Another thing I learned through therapy, my therapist would be like, because like I'll be like, man, I really don't want to do this, but like I'll feel bad if I don't. Like they're gonna, I don't know if I don't want them to be mad at me or whatever. And like after I don't do it, she'll be like, but they still got it done though, right?
Exactly.
And I'm like,
Exactly.
you know what they did?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, like me watching how people, like I said, have acted since my mom passed. And just really just sitting back and watching, like, y'all gonna do this regardless if I'm here or not. Y'all are going to move on. You're gonna continue with your lives.
Yeah.
So find a way to do it. It is no longer I refuse to make everybody else's problem my problem. Because now when I got a problem, which I have a major problem because my mental health is a problem,
Yeah.
who gonna help me with this problem?
Yeah.
You still got your own problems.
Yeah.
And I feel guilty about expressing my problem because I know you got your own shit going on.
Yeah. That's why I'm now like real, like when I was in the hospital, like I took very good note of who was around when I was there, because now when I have mental health issues, I'm not gonna break my back for y'all because y'all wasn't there. Like when I'm at the bottom, I'm here by myself, or I'm here with just me and my boyfriend and my kids. So that's who I would be worried about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think really like the Superwoman Complex is also like a God complex. Like we be feeling like we gotta do that's God's job.
Yeah.
Like I need to stop trying to do this man's job. Like it's okay.
Yeah, like learning that I am not omnipresent.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I can't. Like even when it comes down to my artists now, being able to say, look, I need a day of rest. I can't go with you to. You're gonna be okay going to the club without me being there and watching you and holding your hand. Go to the club, perform, call me and let me know how it went.
Mm-hmm.
Your contracts are already laid out, so nothing should go wrong. Your security's there. I'm just not gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like, I had to get on my husband about that because for a while it was, I need to go to the studio, I need to go here, I need to go. Bruh, hold on, I need 5 minutes. I need to sit at home. I need to see the inside of my room for longer than an hour.
Yeah.
Besides the sleep.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend, we even though we have similar fields, we make it like we on purpose don't talk about business or do a bunch of. We do business together sometimes, but not a whole lot, just because like we want our house to feel like a safe space.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to be arguing about business or what we don't like or whatever. Like so, we do that intentionally.
So I do it with my husband and my wife because everybody has their own businesses. But me being who I am, I have a part in everybody's business.
Yeah.
So with them, I have to tell both of them, you know, or my wife is better about it than my husband is, cause she'll see me and she'll be like, "Babe, did I just put too much on you?" Because her major outlet, her major social media outlet is Bigo. Even though we're building up our other platforms, like Bigo is the main source right now. So with that, I have to like I'll show you in the notebook where I have to keep up with PK events and or like the regular events, like I was telling you about the DJ battle we gotta do. We have Mother's Day events, like each month you have different events, plus keeping up with who's getting paid, who's doing what. Like it's a lot. Like you really gotta run this like a business.
Yeah.
I'm her secretary. So guess who has to play that part? Plus with Morvain being his manager and event planner and all this, and I have to tell both of them like, hold on.
Yeah.
We're about to have a no business night.
Yeah.
Nifo is not here. Morvain is not here. Goddess is not here. It says none of the businesses are here tonight.
Yeah.
It is Queen, Tank, and Essence, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of those because otherwise y'all gonna drive me crazy and I'm snap on y'all for this business.
Right.
Okay. Another question. Why do we feel weak when we show emotions?
Because we were taught that we had to be strong, but I feel like over the last few years, I realized that it's stronger. You're stronger when you put it out there and you deal with it, because you can only deal with it if you put it out there. So
I only feel weak in the response of the other person. Like if I really care about them and they go like, "Oh," it's like now I feel like you pitying me.
yeah,
That's when I feel weak. But me expressing myself, I've learned that it's strength.
it's strength.
It's not weakness at all. So I don't mind it. You know, sometimes like I don't know how you're gonna take me,
Yeah.
or you're gonna use this against me. But God is good, I guess.
So, we actually already discussed some of these questions. It's funny. What steps are we taking to combat the Superwoman Complex?
I think it's about one. I think the biggest thing is mental health. And so one thing that I'm trying to do through my foundation is make it normal to talk about when we're not okay and what's going on with us. Like we need to just like eliminate the stigmas behind talking about we're not okay. Like it doesn't make us weak to say that. And another thing is breaking the curses. Like instill the emotional stuff within our children. Like let them know it's okay to show emotions. It's not weak. It's not. I think between those two.
For me, it's knowing that being selfish is not a bad thing. We learned that it's a bad thing, but you can't help nobody if you don't help yourself.
Yeah.
You
Very
can't.
Can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, you can't. Like you borrowing from other people's cups and try to pour into other people's
Yeah.
cups, and they won't even borrow for you or your cup. So it's like for me, it's just taking a step back and reevaluating myself, what trauma I need to deal with, and what do I want? Like, what do you want to feel like every day you wake up? So it's like just reassessing myself.
That's crazy. At this big old age, we still ask ourselves that what it is we want. A lot.
Yeah.
Because we think you should think about everybody else and what they want, but it's
But
like
that constantly
what do you want?
changes, even like as you go through adulthood. Like, yeah, what I wanted at 18 is not what I want now. What I wanted at 30 is not what I want now. And what I'm gonna want at 45 is not, you know, what I want right now. So it constantly changes. Like there are certain things that will always stay the same. I want my kids to be successful. I want my marriage to be successful. You know, those type of things. But the things that I actually want for me is very simple. I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
And I tell that to myself all the time. Like, I just want to be happy. And now I'm taking those steps that is no longer, I just want to be happy by any means necessary. I'm going to be happy.
Yeah. I think we also need to be grateful for one, the things that we didn't get, or the things that we didn't get when we wanted them. Like, one thing I say to myself all the time is like, I'm so glad I didn't get the things that I wanted when I wanted them.
Yes.
Like, I would have not have had to work for it. I would have had the strength. I wouldn't have been prepared. I would have lost it. Just, yeah.
I wouldn't have been appreciated.
Yeah.
Like, me going into the music industry now and the way that I'm going into it versus how I've been in it for so long. Like, being in the strip clubs and being security and, you know, doing all these different things, yeah, it's cool. But to step into more, I guess you would say, a mature role in the industry, like, I'm no longer the crazy ratchet in the industry. I'm one of the ones looking at you like, come on, baby, you ain't gotta be like that.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah.
Like, even with, you know, I always call my lifestyles because I have multiple lifestyles that I run in and they don't interfere with each other. So in one of my lifestyles, you feel me, I have young men that are my son's age coming under. And thank you. Tell everybody about your nonprofit.
Okay, yeah, my nonprofit is called Bringing Us Together. The first initiative I started is Protect Our Crowns, which is mental health. I was doing a monthly, I had to take a quick break, but I do monthly mental health events where I have food, I have a therapist, and it's basically like group therapy, and it's only like $20 to get free food. I have brunch, mimosas, and therapy. So once a month you come pay $20 to get therapy.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
That
so
is
dope.
awesome. So we're gonna speak on business while we're here. One thing I do want a partner with you
Okay.
with your nonprofit because it is awesome. And like I said, you've helped me.
Yeah.
So like I gotta give back.
Yeah.
So whatever you need me to do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, my guy. Like if we need to throw some events together, whatever. If I need, because I know you got your investors, I got mine. Like whatever we need to get it together, let's make it happen because I really want to back you on dealing with that because we need that as Black women.
Yeah.
We need us to say it's okay
Yeah.
and to reach out to our sisters that are getting that beat down, that are hearing that they don't need therapy, they just need to, like, we need to be there to reach out to them.
Yeah, and I do them separate. Like I'll do like a men's one, it'll be all men. I have a men therapist, and then I'll do the women's one too, because I think that theirs is just as important, if not more important, because like if we think we not taught to be able to show feelings and emotions, like the men
They feel
are
it's not
not,
even
like,
acknowledged.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's super, super dope. And same with what she just said, like if you need any support, whether I can pray or sing. Like
Appreciate
whatever you
y'all.
need.
So let everybody know where they can find you on social media, you as well.
Okay.
You can find me on social media at Alicia, ALISHAKENSHE. The foundation is Bringing Us Together on everything.
You can find me on Instagram at Smooth Jazz with a Z and then an X on the end.
All right, and you can find me on Instagram, Bigo, TikTok, or Facebook for Nasty Info Entertainment. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you ladies so much. Yay, I did it!
That was dope.
You talking for like an hour.
Oh man.
I gotta see you. What you said when it's like, I thank God.
It's supposed to be recorded. Please tell me that baby didn't record me all the time. At least I got it on my tablet.
Yeah.
I got it on my tablet at
And I
this
had your
point.
voice.
Yeah.